Hello everyone and welcome back to STX Reviews. This time I have reviewed a server I've been playing on for quite a while. This server is called Cloud Gaming. I will leave a link where you can join through Steam in the description. This review is going to be a bit different, a bit more detailed. Like before, I will be discussing a couple factors, but this time there are so many that I will name them first. We're going to be looking at the player base, rules, jobs, content, staff quality, logs, and toxicity. Before we start, I want to make sure that everyone understands that this video is a review video from someone that has over 3,500 hours on Dark RP. Yet none of the things I say are 100% fact, nor said to hurt the reputation of said server. This is all educational and should not be taken as a reason to not join this server and check it out for yourself. Now let's start. The first thing we will be discussing is the player base. With this, I mean how full the server is around the day. Compared to most servers I have reviewed, this server actually has between 25 and 100 plus players throughout the day. The peak is mostly around 110, and I think they had around 128 players max. At this point, most of the players are actually playing. This is on the morning, we have about 20 to 30 players. Later in the day, you will have about 40. In the evening, when everyone is out of school or anything like that, when they have free time, we have sometimes 100 plus, sometimes just between the 70 and 80, that depends on it. As I've already mentioned, you have AFK players that just stand and spawn and do nothing, but in this case, this is actually not true. You actually see people that actually roleplay with each other. That means that you see people almost everywhere, especially when the server is extremely full. Now I'm going over the rules. Again, this is from someone that has a standard to certain rules, so you might agree with these, you might not agree with these rules at all. That is not what it is about. It is about my standard and the standard I have with my crew that I play this with. So the building rules are decent, they're close to what I'm used to. The other rules that have to do with general roleplay are all good enough as well. The only thing that I have to put, not sure if I would say bad or good, but there is no adverting. On most servers I have actually been playing on, you do /advert and then a message, and then you do an action in roleplay. Cloud does not have this. At first, when I started playing, this quite literally made me stop playing a couple of times. Yet I kept going back. After my last angry leave, I agree, even me, the person that reviewed it, left multiple times in anger that I no longer wanted to play, and then I stopped for a couple of days, but I did come back. I've gotten used to these rules. I've started to actually understand why they were being used. So it's a minus, but something you can get used to, let me say it that way. Now the jobs. I'll be completely honest. I was going to actually move over from this. I was not going to review the jobs, as I have had little to no interaction with the normal jobs. I have been given a custom job quite early on when I've been playing. This job itself has many features that the most of the normal jobs have as well. But from what I can say, if you are a user, a normal player that just likes to play a normal job, I have to say that there is not much that is special. The moonshine that they have, for example, is, well, I have no idea what it is and what to do with it, so that's all I can say about that. The weed you can make in the server is also, for me, an old and janky, quite boring add-on, which is just waiting for it to grow, and then it will be done. And then you put it in a basket and you sell it. Now, selling things is another problem. You have people on the server that have been playing for quite a long time, over 4,000 hours I've seen before. So they have skills. This means that some of the skills that the government jobs have, the PD, police, SWAT, that kind of stuff, have ESP. Meaning, when you get wanted, they can see you through walls and find you while you have no idea where they are. This is, in my opinion, extremely hard to get over. And I'm not making money through the normal way with production. I just put down printers in a gang base, and that's about it for me. But if you don't care about the jobs, let me just sum it up. The jobs that they have are normal, but the content in the jobs are lacking, in my opinion. Okay, now that I've just said that, I'll move over to the content. As I said, the biggest thing on this server that you could be looking forward to is the gang system. This is a really, really good thought out thing. For example, the turf wars. There is some confusion, in my opinion, with the turf. I also don't like that there is so much confusion, because I'm sometimes so confused that I have no idea what I'm doing. But other than that, I think it's really well thought out, and it's extremely fun if you have a gang and you can fight for points and stuff for your gang. And the thing that I've already talked about before, the skills. You have skills on all three of the job types: the normal, the PD, and the criminal. I'll put a picture of the skill list in here right now so you can see what the skills are. You can just look at it right now and you will see what they all are. Of course, they have the normal things like bank robbery or robbing the police station. It's a bit different. You have to steal gold bars, which I have no problem with. That is actually quite funny. So yeah, all I can say is try it out. And now something that might get seen in a bad way, because I am not staff on this server in any way, so I have no insight of it. But I do have between 7 and 8, maybe already 9 years of staffing experience, from a trail moderator to admin to staff manager. And I'm currently a staff manager as well. So I do know how a staff member should behave. That will be the next point. When I started on this server, there was a horde of staff members. And I was warned by many people that the staff members were extremely bad. But these got cut down, and the bad ones got mostly washed away, and the decent ones till the good ones stayed. I'm not gonna name any staff members because I don't want staff members in cloud gaming to see this and think, why did he not mention me? I'm a good staff member as well. But the people that I've interacted with, I had no problem with at all. They were extremely professional and they were really nice. I did have a situation or two where I really questioned, why is this person a staff member? You cannot handle this, what are you doing? But other than that, I have no problem with the staff team. So I have one of the staff members that volunteered to say something about the server, and I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Chen, and I'm one of the admins on the server. I've been playing on the server for like a little while, I guess, like 280 hours on the server, and so not too long. I'm fairly new. The server's pretty good. I mean, it's really laggy sometimes, but the community is mostly nice, and yeah, there's pretty cool people. I first started playing on the server because a friend, kind of like told me to join the server. Like, I had no clue what I was joining. I was joining something, I guess. Now so to stick with it was pretty fun. Now I'm here. So yeah, funniest moment of the on servers ever when Mute got banned for hacking. That's the funniest shit ever.
The only problem I do have is that for some reason you need video evidence in most of the situations you get in. If you ask for a SID when a rule has been broken with you involved, you sometimes need to show, sometimes mostly need to show video evidence, which I don't know if I agree with it. I can understand that in certain situations it verifies that a person actually did something wrong, but always needing to have video proof is quite annoying in my opinion. But I did get used to it pretty fast, as I'm doing this as a hobby, YouTube, and I stream as well. So having my Streamlabs running it's not a problem for me. But I know there are people with less strong PCs than I have. They can't play and record at the same time, which will most likely just get rule breakers to do whatever they want and they can do nothing about it. A thing I've been thinking about in this section with the staff is that even though I am already an active staff member on a different server, I'm considering trying to become a staff member on this server, as I do think I have the experience to actually handle a crowded and populated server. It seems really nice. I do like all of the staff members, especially the ones I've interacted with already. I'm hoping to, of course, if all of the staff members, because they do make the game a lot more fun, especially when they play around with you. Now, one of the things that I haven't been able to do, I'm going to move on to the next section, is the log system. Because, as I said before, I'm not staff on this server, meaning I've not been able to to see the logs. I'm also not close to any of the staff members where I felt comfortable enough to ask about the logs, so I cannot rate this. What I do know is that they have a custom log system, so they have their own kind of system. I don't know what this is, but I trust that it is good enough for them to handle it. And maybe this is why they need video evidence, but I don't think so. Now, the most important one, in my opinion, is the toxicity. This is something that I will have to say is quite high. There are always a lot of people on this server. This means that there will be a lot of players coming through the server every day, going and leaving, and then joining back and having new players every time. This makes the toxicity quite high. I have had to deal with a lot of straight up racism, and just overall toxicity is quite high. This is not because of the server, this is because of the dumb people that join the server. They just minge. The definition of minge is basically a person that has no intention to do anything useful with the other people, just wants to cause as many problems as they can before they get banned. And the actual role players and the regular players are really loving. They are lovely to be around. They are all fun and nice, and they actually role play with you in a good basis. Because there are so many people that just joined, you have a problem with toxicity, which is, in my opinion, just unavoidable. You have to make a report from time to time when something happens. You have to get into a call, show some evidence. But this is not something I would say that could break your spirit into actually wanting to keep playing. Now, my conclusion. Overall, I would give the server a 7 out of 10. Can't give it any higher because of some of the things that I've had to deal with, and I'm sure that in the future it will become higher. It is just that, yeah, some things I just don't agree with, and I'm not gonna give them to you guys here. That is not something that's my personal thing. That's not something I want to address here. But the massive player base is really good, and ongoing roleplay for new players. You will always be able to get involved. The staff members are nice. It does leave a lot of room for bad apples, but you're just gonna have to bite through them. I don't see anything in the jobs, but I have a custom job, which in my case, I don't really have to see anything in the jobs. So I have not enough experience to actually say they're good or bad, so I'm gonna leave it to that. It's just neutral for me. Make sure you are always recording. This is also a thing that I would give new players that join. When you join cloud gaming, make sure you have something like Streamlabs or Nvidia Play or whatever it's called, so you can actually record and then show evidence when something is going wrong. Once again, none of this should be taken in a negative light. These are all just opinions, and I highly recommend everyone that watches this to try the server. And if you are someone that actually already plays on the server, make sure to leave a comment, give me your experiences, tell the people that haven't been on the server before some insight of what you think of the server, some funny memories or anything like that. It's of course appreciated. Like I said before, I'll put a Steam link to connect to the server in the description. If you want to join the server, play with me, play with us, you're of course welcome to. And that was it for me. I'll see everyone in the next video. Goodbye for now.